What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Your king is here. And yes, you read the title right. Today, I'm doing a battle analysis between the Shredder, also known as Oroku Saki, versus Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat series. Now, before I can get into who I think will win in the fight, let me talk down their stats. Shao Kahn, height 7 feet 2 inches, weight 400 pounds, age over 10,000 years, and is also known as the Emperor of Outworld. Let's label down some of his skills, also known as, labeled here as his martial arts and sorcery. His whole weaponry, or arsenal as some would call it, his Emperor Shield, his fireball attack, his merciless spear, his mystic choke, which is something that I didn't know he had, his shoulder charge, the soul nado, soul manipulation, wrath hammer, and of course something that everyone in Mortal Kombat is known for as their fatalities. Now let's talk about his feats. He managed to conquer hundreds of realms. Nobody else in Mortal Kombat, or anyone else for that matter, can claim that. He effortlessly stole Shang Tsung's souls. And if anyone knows Mortal Kombat well enough, is that Shang Tsung is one of the most powerful sorcerers, well, in video game history in general. He also managed to master numerous arts of martial arts. And there's a good chance that he's probably mastered all of them, given the fact that he's 10,000 years old. He managed to survive being impaled by Liu Kang. He also managed to temporarily merge Earthrealm and Outworld, which is almost like the equivalent of somebody managing to merge two universes into one, which is a very difficult task, and yet he managed to do it. He also managed to withstand a blast from the Elder Gods, who are by far some of the most powerful characters in the entire Mortal Kombat universe as a whole. He also won the Battle of Armageddon, which that is, let me guys know if that's the same as Mortal Kombat Armageddon, because I think it's the same thing. And also managed to defeat Raiden, Liu Kang, Blaze, and Kotal Kahn. To defeat somebody as Kotal Kahn and Raiden, you're obviously up there with the big dogs. And of course, obviously, because his name is Shao Kahn for a reason. And now onto his opponent, the Shredder, also known as Oroku Saki. Oroku Saki is 6 feet 6 inches. His weight is 280 pounds, and he is also the leader of the Foot Clan. Now, all the big-time Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans would know that the Shredder has been mostly known for as his rivalry with Hamato Yoshi, who aka Splinter, aka the father of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, his mortal enemies, and is also a master of all types of ninjutsu, but we're going to get that later. Now, as for his arsenal, he has quite a bit. He has his Tenkangi claws, which are these on his wrist. He also has his legendary helmet, the Kurokabuto. He also has a katana, smoke pellets, a laser sword, which I think is from the 1900s series. And of course, we can't forget Super Shredder, which has superhuman strength, superhuman durability, teleportation, and lightning, which is something that I did not know until I saw the 1900s video game for that. Now, one thing that is definitely important to know it out is that Shredder has been confirmed to have studied 18 disciplines of ninjutsu. Now, that is quite a lot for a mere man. But of course, Oroku Saki is no mere man. Now, to talk about his feats. The Shredder managed to fight off the Turtles, mutants, and all other forces by himself, all at once, and barely even looked like he broke a sweat. His reflexes, or his overall movement speed in general, allows him to move faster than the eyes can see. Now, for those of you who may not know this, but in the 2012 adaptation, when Shredder had a sit down with this very fat mob boss dude, he immediately swung his blade so fast that the mob boss didn't even realize it until he literally saw his meatball fall off from his fork. Now, that's fast. Again, he also, and as Super Shredder, he's able to lift a whole lot of heavy stuff and has also gained a whole lot of super strength. Now, if you guys saw, once again, in the 2012 adaptation, Super Shredder managed to lift an entire oil tanker, and those things usually weigh up to nearly almost 10,000 pounds. Possibly slightly less than that, or possibly slightly more than that. And not to mention, the Shredder has survived falling from many great heights. Like, from the top of buildings, from the top of rooftops and all that. Like, and not to mention, also once had a water tank fall directly on top of him, and he got back up as if it was nothing. And has enough strength and power to slash through steel. And that's just when he's regular. In his regular base form. That's without the Super Shredder. Now that we got that all out of the way, who do I think would win in the fight? Well, when you compare their feats side by side, it's easy to realize that Shao Kahn has the feats advantage. I mean, this guy managed to win the Armageddon War, conquer numerous realms, and managed to beat some of Mortal Kombat's heaviest hitters. And not only on top of that, but I believe his two greatest feats was being able to merge Outworld with Earthrealm. Now, that is an extremely difficult feat for even someone like Raiden to do. Like, it's pretty much a godly task, and Shao Kahn, seemingly a mere man, managed to do that with almost ease. But not only on top of that, but he managed to take a full-blown shot from the Elder Gods, which, if you guys remember, if I stated earlier, that the Elder Gods are some of the most powerful characters in the entire Mortal Kombat universe as a whole. Meanwhile, Shredder has only been able to accomplish beating the Turtles numerous times, taking down aliens and mutants, and even dinosaurs like the Triceratons. But when you compare that to all the things Shao Kahn has done, it really pales in comparison to what Shao Kahn has done and has accomplished. Now, onto their weaponry and arsenals, even though it's the same thing. Now, as far as arsenals, they almost seem a little bit evenly matched, except that Shao Kahn has something that overtakes the Shredder, and that's his soul manipulation, the soul NATO, and also his ridiculous endurance. Like, this man managed to go up against characters like Liu Kang and Raiden and survived. And once again, took a hit from the Elder Gods and lived. Meanwhile, the Shredder has been cut by mere swords and taken certain shots and even gotten beaten up by big mutants on more than one occasion. Something that Shao Kahn would literally have no problem of dealing with. And not to mention, on top of that, Shredder really has nothing to go up against, Shao Kahn stealing his soul from him. Like, he has no defense against that. Except if you compare the two speeds. Now, when you have somebody like Shao Kahn is obviously one of the most robust and beefiest characters in Mortal Kombat. So, obviously, his movement speed is actually going to be hindered. But then again, the Shredder, while not as buff, is still a pretty big dude himself, but can actually move much more nimbly than Shao Kahn. And that's mainly thanks to the fact that that Saki is a ninja, and not to mention he's been training for a very long time, pretty much ever since he was born. And not to mention his movement speed, to be able to move faster than the eyes can see. I could definitely see him being able to land quite many quick and surprising blows to Shao Kahn. But when you compare the experience, it's important to remember that Shao Kahn is over 10,000 years old. So there's really not a whole lot that the Shredder could possibly do that Shao Kahn won't see coming, or that he could possibly tank, because he went up against characters that are, in a sense, way above the Shredder's league. So regular Shredder really won't be able to do a thing to Shao Kahn unless we add in, as I previously stated, Super Shredder. Now, Super Shredder, as I stated, has super strength, super durability, teleportation, and lightning. And that is a pretty dangerous thing. I mean, the Super Shredder managed to take on a whole group of mutants and almost single-handedly beat at the Turtles. Like, the Turtles struggled tremendously to beat this guy. And even the biggest mutants, even their biggest allies, barely even stood a chance, because Super Shredder was just that strong. But once again, I still don't think that's even going to be enough to go up against Shao Kahn. Like, this dude managed to beat Blaze, who was pretty much a god himself, who was probably above Raiden. I might be wrong about that. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But Blaze was possibly like maybe super dimensional or something, and Shao Kahn managed to beat him with just his hammer and his bare hands. And Super Shredder is at best town or city level, which is really not much compared to Blaze when Shao Kahn beated him. And Shao Kahn is easily by far multidimensional, or possibly even universal, compared to the Shredder even in his super form. And with that conclusion, when you compare each of them side by side, I have to come out and say that I believe that Shao Kahn wins this fight. Like, at least a low to mid difficulty. Now, I'm not saying that, the Shredder could easily, or could possibly do some damage. He probably could, at least as Super Shredder. But a regular Oroku Saki isn't just going to be enough to cut it for Shao Kahn. Because once again, Shao Kahn has survived way worse things than Saki has. And when you compare the battle experience and the battle intelligence between the two, Shao Kahn obviously has the edge when it comes to that. Saki may be the leader of the Foot Clan, masters of multiple ninjutsu, and is the greatest threat to the Turtles. But Shao Kahn is just meaner, nastier, stronger, faster, and an overall better fighter than Saki. And not to mention the fact that he has studied numerous martial arts over the 10,000 years he's been alive. Shao Kahn wins. Anyway, guys, let me know who you guys think wins this fight. Does Shao Kahn easily take this battle? Or does Super Shredder give Saki the victory? Let me know what you guys thinking below. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the video, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next battle matchup.